Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. It seems like I say that a lot when I come on here. I have been so busy at work that I honestly just forgot that it was 12 o'clock, that I was supposed to be here, and I have a card. So I have something to share with you, and I do not want to miss our Wednesday cards at coffee. This was like such a glitch, but welcome to Wednesdays where I hope to get on at noon or today at 12:45, but we're still going to get on. Actually, however, in the delay, I did get a box from Stampin' Up, and sorry, I'm going to just open it here and then we can open it together because there's a couple of goodies in here. Sorry, I'm just opening it out of camera here for a second. There we go. Couple of goodies in here that I actually want to share with you. So, in the delay, we all win. Let's see if I can zoom back out a little bit. There we go. Okay. So, in my order here, I just have a customer order in here too that I want to take out. So, I grabbed that out. But let me show you what I want to share with you today. I got a brand new stamp set. This one, isn't that pretty? Blessings of Home. This is a sneak peek of what's coming actually in the spring catalog, if you can believe that. I signed up for a demonstrator training event next month, and this was the stamp set that we're using to make our projects with. So let's see what else is part of this kit. These classic matte dots. So I got some other stuff too, so I'm trying to figure out what goes with what. These are just some replacement stock. This goes with it. There's this denim ribbon. Pretty. And there's some dies. Let's open these up together. But I'm like loving this stamp set. Like, it's really pretty. This is going to be a fabulous one for coloring and for watercoloring, like coloring with your blends, your what do you call those? Watercolor pencils, all of those types of things. This is going to be a great set for that. This does not want to come out of the bag. Ugh, there we go. Okay. Let's see what else is in here. So these are the dies that go with that stamp set. And so, of course, we've got the dies to cut out those large flowers. But we've also got a number of smaller leaves and flowers that are going to make some really great accents and borders, etc. on our craft project. So this is a fun one that's coming. Have a perfect birthday. We can get through anything together. What a beautiful day for love. You are a real blessing to everyone around you. Really nice sentiments. Thank you for inspiring me. Anyway, so that is coming in the spring catalog. And there's designer series paper that also goes with that. Again, those are the classic matte dots and the denim ribbon that goes with that. And sorry for all the shuffling here. I'm just going to get my box out of the way because I know these are the two things I want to share with you. One, this is the paper that goes with that Heart and Home collection. Let's break into this bad boy. I haven't looked at this yet. As you saw, I opened the box with you. And so that's one of the perks of being on a demonstrator list, is that you get early access to some of these products. So this one was an exclusive for demonstrators attending sheesh, what is that convention called next month? I can't remember. But if you were attending, you got a link to order this product. Anyways, let's take a quick peek at the paper. So this looks like cinnamon cider and some bees on there. Really pretty. And then some wood grains on the back. We've got some flowers with some more white and gray wood patterns on the back. Purple, I'm going to say this is, what is that called? Fresh freesia. This is gorgeous. I love this pattern. That's really pretty. Looks like lots of wood patterns on the back of the paper with florals on the front, but just some soft kind of in colors on this paper. Really pretty. This looks like garden green. Anyways, that is what is in our Heart and Home collection that is coming up in the spring catalog. So once I go to my training in November, I'll be able to share some projects with you out of that collection as well. The other thing I wanted to show you is this one. And I only have the designer series paper. This is called Ever Eden. And there is Eden's Garden, I think it's called. A new collection that is, again, this is from the spring catalog, but they are doing an early release on this. And if you remember, they usually have one set that they release early for customers. And so this month, demonstrators were able to order this. In November, this is going to be available for customers to order as an early release item. So this might make a really great idea for a Christmas present. If you wanted to buy someone some crafting supplies that maybe weren't specific to Christmas and make sure that they already don't have it, this might be a great option for you. But I only have the designer series paper right now. There is a stamp set, a die set, which is floral and leafy in nature. It has, and then there's some gems that go with it, which currently were not available to order when I ordered, just due to some shipping problems, but it should be available for you November 1st. Anyways, if you can see at this, it has like sort of a gold foil in the paper and it's stunning, just stunning. So these are the colors that you can expect in this collection. All of this gold foil, it is, what do we call that? Soft succulent and evening evergreen, I believe, are the colors in here. Just those three. Super pretty. Ooh la la, look at this pretty. This ombre design, really gorgeous. Yeah, I am loving this paper. This is totally my style. If you are familiar with me, this is up my alley. It's got some bling and some, look at this one, is super shiny. This should be like wallpaper. Might be a little much, but it could be. Anyways, there is a sneak peek of a couple of things coming to you soon. So this Eden's Garden collection is coming next month, November 1st. And the Heart and Home you will find in the spring catalog. So you can watch for more of that to come. But see, that's one of the benefits of me being late. Other things happen. I have more to share with you. Also, let me remind you while we're getting going that today is a 24-hour sale. That means that all cling mount stamps. What are cling mount stamps? Cling mount stamps are the ones like this that are rubber. These are called cling mount stamps. All of them in the annual catalog are 15% off today. So go and check out my page. I'll put a link in there after this, after we're done stamping today. And a link to the list of the stamp sets that are on sale for 15%. So that's only until midnight tonight. So make sure you get in there and put in an order for you, an order for a friend, Christmas gifts, whatever it is. All of the stamp sets are 15% off. Excuse me, I just ate lunch while I remembered that I was supposed to be here. And so anyways, I'm coughing a little bit. But today, I wanted to share with you one of the stamp sets that's on special. This is Sailing Home. And the reason I pulled this one out is because I have had this for a long time. And honestly, I think I made one card with it. So I am really sad. I bought this with a really great idea in mind. Actually, I saw a card made by the talented Emma Goddard. She lives in the UK. She made a beautiful card with embossing paste in the background using the stencils and then to make the water. It was gorgeous, and that sold me on the stamp set. And of course I bought it and got distracted by all of the gorgeous things and have never used it. So today we're going to use a Sailing Home stamp set, which I said, again, is 15% off until midnight today. And we're going to make kind of a masculine card. Now, the trick with masculine cards is that you want to kind of just keep it simple. Let's see if I can zoom back in a little bit here. You want to keep your card simple. You want to use, of course, maybe masculine colors. Not all men are going to want a bright pink card. I mean, there might be some that would like a really colorful card, but for the most part, if you use softer tones, or I don't know what the word is, not bright colors. If you use more manly colors and softer tones and keep it simple, you're going to have a gorgeous masculine card. So this works out really well for us at Cards and Coffee because, as you know, if you are joining me here for the first time, Cards and Coffee is all about making a card in 15 minutes or less. So we're looking at simple stamping here and how to put together really beautiful projects without too much extra work. So I have got a piece of white here, and this measures 5 by 3 3/4. And sorry, my card base is just a regular 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle and folded in half. This is Smoky Slate, this color here. No, I lied. This is not Smoky Slate. This is Gray Granite, I think. You know what? I'm not sure. Gray granite or Sahara sand. I can't remember which color I pulled. And now I am confused. And now we have a basic white here. And we're going to stamp on this. And I noticed I got a little ink on it, so I'm going to just flip it over. I am going to be using the smaller boat of the 2 boats in the stamp set. And there is a coordinating die set that goes with the stamp set that cuts out the images. So it'll cut out the boats, the anchor, the compass, as well as the lighthouse. So there is a stamp set that goes, or coordinating dies that go with this as well, if you do not like cutting out your pieces. But today we're only going to stamp. You don't have to have the dies to make beautiful projects. So I don't want you to think that if you don't have all the tools and all the fancy little things that go with it, that you can't make beautiful projects. So today we're going to make a really simple one, but there's just so much that you can do with just stamps, paper, and ink. So it's a great place to start. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do what we call a stamp off technique. And you've seen me do this before, where I stamp on my scrap paper and then stamp on my project. But I'm actually going to just do that today on my project. So about 2/3 of the way up, I'm going to stamp, I'm going to stamp, and I'm going to stamp. So see, we've got kind of a fading boat, and it's not really intended to look like movement. It's just giving a little bit of interest here so they're not all exactly the same. And just like that, we've got our boats. Notice they're not all lined up, and that's okay. Now this next step you can take or leave. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do this on this card, and I will show you after what I did on my demo card that you can choose to do or not, because I think it looks beautiful just as it is. So we're going to skip the next step that I did, and we're going to come back to it at the very end. The next thing I have is just a piece of Misty Moonlight. And sorry, I stamped the boats in Misty Moonlight. I didn't mention that. I'm going to use my Whisper White craft pad and the sentiment that says, "You are my true north." So this would be something more you could use for an anniversary. You could even use it for a birthday. You could put this on here and then follow it up with a happy birthday sentiment on it as well. So there's lots of options for this. So I've got my craft pad here. And I am going to just ink up my stamp. And I have cut my paper here to 5.5 inches long. And for some reason, it looks crooked. It is crooked, but that's okay. We're just going to use this bottom part here. And I'm going to stamp it kind of in the middle, just like that. Now you can see the craft pad alone is not that bright. But if you do not have an embossing heat gun or whatnot, you can use the Whisper White craft pad all on its own without any problem. I am going to pull out my embossing powder here. So I've got a scrap piece of paper and my white embossing powder. Now your white embossing powder or any embossing powder is going to stick to your craft ink as well. So you could use your Versamark or you could use your craft ink. And sometimes I'll use my craft ink, and then if I decide it's not bright enough, I'll just decide to emboss it. So in this case, I'm going to emboss it. Partly because we're on camera and you can't really see everything as clearly as I can, or as brightly as I can. And then I just funnel that back into my, my little bottle here of embossing powder. Now I'm going to get a little bit noisy. This is the heat gun here. It looks a little bit different now. This one is really old. I have had this for more than a decade, so it is a little bit of an investment the first time you purchase it, but you will have your heat gun forever. So don't think it's something that you're going to be continually buying or replacing. This, like I said, I've had it for more than a decade and it's still going strong. So it's going to get a little noisy here, and you can watch. I'll try and hold this up here as it starts to change from the powder to emboss. So when it gets warmed up, you're going to see it start to get a shine to it, and then you'll know that it's done. It doesn't really take that long. It just takes a second to heat up. Now, people ask if you can use your blow dryer. You cannot use your blow dryer. It is not hot enough. It's just going to blow your powder around. So you need to actually have a heat tool to do embossing. Okay, so you see that, I don't know if you can see the difference where we've got kind of a raised sentiment on there now. It's not, the powder is not loose. It's not going to come off. It's got a raised edge, kind of like it feels like braille on your paper. And it's shiny. So when it turns shiny, you know that you have finished the embossing and you are done with that. So I'm going to pull out my paper cutter just because my paper isn't 100% straight. And I want to make sure that I get a nice straight cut. So I'm going to just take this and I'm going to trim it a little bit. It's going to be a little bit shorter than my card, but it's not straight on the edges for some reason. I think last time when I was doing my sample card, I just freehand cut it, and now I've got my paper all messed up, but that's okay. Okay, so now we've got our edges straight, so we can be confident that when we cut this, well, supposedly when we cut this, it's supposed to be straight now. Okay, so I'm going to cut it at about 1/2 inch. Just like that. So we have our sentiment in the middle of our strip. So this should be 5.5 by 1/2 inch. Mine's going to be a tad shorter than that. Now let's put our card together, and it's as easy as that. So I'm going to use the Tombow liquid glue today. And I'm going to add it to the back of my cardstock here. And again, that's lots. If you can see it on the back of your card, you have as much as you need. You don't need to have it piled up like I have there. Okay, and that's one of the tricks to using the liquid glue, is not getting too much. You know how that is. If you use too much, it starts to squish out the sides, and then it dries kind of with a little bit of a sheen on there, which nobody really wants. It's not the intent anyway of your cards. Now you could choose to use dimensionals on here if you want to, but it's really not necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my liquid glue again. And we're going to just put this right across here. Now, because mine's not exactly long enough, I'm going to kind of have to make sure I eyeball it. And this is another benefit of liquid glue. You have a little bit of wiggle room because it doesn't dry immediately. So you can place it on your card. And there is our card. Like, can you believe that? That's so simple, but it's nice. I think any gentleman would love to receive this card, or any son. Well, I guess they're gentlemen if they're sons as well. But so this is the one that we made here with just our boats. This is the one I made yesterday, which is exactly the same, except for I stamped some birds on it with the Sahara sand. So if you wanted to add on a little bit more stamping, you could do that as well. Or if you wanted to use your die cuts out of the set and cut out an anchor or a compass and add that onto here as an extra embellishment, you could do that as well. And again, there's lots of fun sentiments to be used. But this is the card that we have here for today. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you for coming a little bit late with me today. And as always, happy stamping. And I hope that you'll get in there, take advantage of the 24-hour sale that's on until midnight. If you have any questions about any of that or any of the products that I shared with you at the beginning of this video, just send me a message. I'd love to chat. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.